GM. Got a question here. It's a really good one. Today's lesson is going to be about the difference between TradFi and crypto in terms of investors mindset. It is so fucking different that it's unbelievable. And here's the thing. The brutal, honest fact is that crypto people, crypto natives, who've grown up with this industry, grown up in this generation, what we are is a completely new class of investors, and TradFi traders don't get it. Like, I speak to them all the time, or I have several friends who trade in TradFi, and they cannot understand the level of risk we take. They think we're taking loads of risk, right? And I try and explain that this is the new. It's not us. It's not me and a few people I know who are 100% in on crypto. It's an entire generation. And we are now the generation that will breed all future generations. The world's approach to investing is shifting in real time. And it's why I'm so bullish on the next, few years. Because as you've seen from the reports, there are trillions, trillions of dollars that the boomers have. The boomers are the richest generation that has ever walked the face of the earth. The boomers are all, by next year, every single boomer by next year is at retirement age or already retired. The boomers are leaving the workforce and they are starting to pass on their wealth to their kids. That money will come down into a generation that is much more crypto savvy and crypto native and just internet native. But it's not just that. So this ETF, it's good timing with the ETF, right? The ETF, do you know the question and the goal of this investment? The goal of the crypto people on Wall Street is to try and convince, and this is what BlackRock will do, Fidelity, this is what they'll be doing to their customers. Their goal is to convince their clients to put 1% of their net worth into crypto as a hedge, as an alternative. 1%. 1% is what they're hoping to get to. It will only be 0.1% to begin with. It's going to be so small. And yet here we have a whole generation who are 100% in crypto. Now, the average TradFi thinks that we are idiots because we're buying scams and Ponzi's and it's all going to zero. But what they're missing is, it's not. People call crypto a bubble. A bubble does not continually keep coming back and reinflating. That doesn't happen. Go and get the chart and overlay all the famous bubbles. In fact, I'll fucking do that right now while I'm on this recording. Chart of past bubbles. And they have the fucking nerve to include crypto on it. They have the nerve, well, I shouldn't say crypto, because crypto is, a lot of times a bubble. They have the nerve to include Bitcoin on it. And let me see if I can see it here. Bubbles. Anyway, I'll find it. I'll put it on with the lesson when I upload it. I've seen it many times. They include Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin has inflated, popped, inflated, popped, inflated, popped. An asset bubble cannot go parabolic 3 times and then come back for a 4th time and be considered a bubble. The asset bubble, even gold, right, hasn't done that. And gold's been around for 5,000 years. I think gold maybe had 2, maybe. But in any equities, like if you look at the NASDAQ in the dot-com bubble, that was the best analogy we have for crypto. You had the NASDAQ index, which went fucking pump, dump, 90% down. And then most stuff died and stuff like Amazon came back a decade later and went to new highs. So the comparisons, and it's a really, really, really good example of how people believe what is kind of spoon-fed to them by the mainstream media. Like the average person thinks crypto is a bubble. But we know it's not. Because these people they don't do any research, right? So one of the most dangerous things you can do is listen to somebody who speaks confidently about something that they don't research. So many people do this, by the way. Instead of doing, whenever someone tries to FUD crypto to me or Bitcoin to me, and I ask for why, and they go blah, 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 they repeat some bullshit talking points that they see on Twitter, or that they see some FUDster on I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. I've done this for years, fucking years, every single day, deep research. And you're just writing it off mostly because they've just missed it. Right? Now that's a good thing. I love nothing more than that, because the more FUD there is, the more disbelief there is. There are just more people who will eventually flip. Right? People said that the internet was never going to catch on. People said that it was stupid to have why would we need a car? What's this weird thing with 4 wheels? We've got horses. Horses are perfectly fine. That's what people's mindset was. What was the quote by Henry Ford? It was something like, someone asked Henry Ford about the design of the car, of the Model T. And they asked him and said, why don't you design it like this? People don't like the design or whatever. And he said something like, if I cared about what people, if I listened to what the average person thinks, we'd still be riding horses. And that's true. The average person's always going to be the last, just the average. The average doesn't mean 50%. That's the middle, right? But the average person is like, in market terms, right? In market terms, it's the vast majority. It's 60, 70, 80% of the world are just average people when it comes to the markets. It's less than 20% it's way less than 20% who take an active interest in the market. You understand? It's like by you being here, by you having an interest in the market, you're not normal. If you speak to 10 friends and 10 family members, you get 20 of them. Maybe 2 or 3 have an active interest in financial markets, yeah? So, by being so early and hearing people with uneducated opinions saying stuff like, it's risky, it's a bubble, that just shows you how super early we are. Now, back to the point about the TradFi question. TradFi would think, and I've spoken to them and I've seen it, they think that you're insane if you put 5% of your net worth in crypto. The same way that we consider buying like a micro cap as super high risk, they consider crypto like a micro cap. So if I own Bitcoin, 70%. I own some large cap altcoins, 25%. I own some mid caps, 3%. And then that 2% at the end that I put into super, super low cap stuff that has massive growth potential, that's what they consider crypto. They want 98% stocks and bonds and commodities. Mostly just stocks and bonds. And then a little bit of crypto, if any. And so when you talk about TradFi coming into crypto, This is where people are saying the institutions are coming, the institutions are here. They are not going to have the conviction. They will not beat us. They will not outperform us. It just doesn't happen. Because 99% of success in the market is conviction. And the reason crypto keeps coming back is because people buy and never sell. And they get involved in the industry and they build stuff. And there's developers and there's an ecosystem. And whenever it all goes fucking crashing down, some people get washed out. But they're the ones that were just tourists anyway. And the real hardcore stick around. And they won't give up, and that's where the industry grows. And those people will never be outperformed by the average casual investor. What people misunderstand is that TradFi has way more money. They've way more dollars, but they don't have more conviction. And they also don't have the risk tolerance that we have. They just, and this is your, I can't stress this enough. This is your edge. This is your superpower. Your superpower is taking risk. But it's not crazy risk for us. I'm not saying leverage. No leverage. They think it's risky just to own Bitcoin. They're worried about getting hacked or getting their wallet stolen. All this basic shit that if you just do 2 days of research and study, you can set yourself up to avoid, right? And all this stuff, it's so, you understand where this is going, where the world's going. Currently, they're considering whether to maybe own 1%. And even that is through a special wrapper of an ETF, and they'll only own Bitcoin. Can you imagine 5 years from now when they have access to everything? And then they might have 2%, 3% in, but they can buy loads of coins. But it's all still bullshit ETF wrappers. And then they realize, wait a minute, let me do some research. Because as soon as they own crypto, as soon as they own a bit of Bitcoin, even an ETF, they're suddenly going to Google Bitcoin. They're going to get Bitcoin on their algorithm. Their news feed will be full of Bitcoin. Their Twitter feed will be full of Bitcoiner. Because of course it is. What do you do whenever you own a coin? You fucking check the coin every day, right? They're no different. Especially this new thing. And then they're going to fall down the rabbit hole and they're going to realize, what does self-custody mean? What does not your keys, not your coins mean? Oh, you mean this thing wait a minute, BlackRock lied to me? This thing isn't mine? It's just a bullshit wrapper? And then that's how they get educated on what crypto actually is. And that's how it grows. And all of this is going to take years. And eventually they'll get to a point where they might put 5% in. And they might buy actual coins themselves. And this is so slow moving that you are just front running these people by fucking years. By years. All because you've got a risk tolerance that is, for us, normal. Because we know that the future is fucking crypto. It's not scam coins. The future is crypto. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? And of course, new stuff will come. Solana, possibly. Other ones. And we're okay with holding 100% in Bitcoin or in Ethereum or in a combination or in stable coins. And the fact that they don't even consider that as a possibility yet just means there is so much money left to come in. It's impossible to describe, because the nature of it is that people, as they always do, because we all like to think that it can't get any better, and oh my god, we're looking for the top, and the top's in, it can't get any bigger. This is the start, not the end. This is the start of people in TradFi considering to maybe put 1% maybe in. This is not the institutions are here, right? This is the institutions are just coming, they're just arriving to offer products to the customers and to then educate them on crypto, because now they can't be anti-crypto, they're going to be pro-crypto. And they're going to spend this time educating those customers to try and get them to buy the bullshit ETF first. But over time, these are real people. These aren't dumb people. Most of these people are very wealthy and successful. They give their money to BlackRock to manage it. But they're not dumb. They will do their own research. They've just never needed to, because until now, Larry Fink told them that Bitcoin was bad. So they said, Larry says it's bad. Jamie Dimon says it's bad. Guess what? Once Larry and Jamie have their way in, Bitcoin's no longer bad. It's really good. They're going to tell everyone it's good. They're going to research it. They're going to fall down the rabbit hole just like you did, just like I did. And they're going to go fucking balls deep into crypto and realize, wait a minute, look at all this other stuff. And so all the current, price expectations and bull market and all this, it's all based around this tiny little bit coming in from some people. And what everyone is missing, not everyone, but I think what most people are missing is that the whole world is eventually going to allocate more to crypto. So even if they own it, they're going to own more. We're not just in a battle to get into portfolios, we're in a battle to increase the split. I don't know if you've been following, but bonds have had their fucking worst 2-year performance ever, and bonds are 40% of most people's portfolios. Bitcoin is the best performing asset class of all time. So whenever it comes to the point of someone saying, yeah, my 60-40, 60 stocks, 40 bonds, yeah, that portfolio was great for, 40 years. But why? It's fucked. 50%, 60% down in 2 years. That is incredibly bad. So it's the first time they've got that friction. They might consider, right, okay, is holding bonds actually a good idea? Why are bonds doing so badly? Oh, turns out nobody trusts them because the US government is just fucking printing money and the Fed are just printing money forever. Maybe I don't want to buy US debt. Maybe there is actually a debt problem, $34 trillion. So, here's this other thing that is a direct response to that. Maybe I should put some of that in, seeing as it's the best performing asset ever, and it just keeps going up. And they're going to realize this, and it's going to go into fucking hyperdrive. This is the talk, but see, the other thing is that I know this is going to happen. It's going to happen in my lifetime. It's going to happen in your lifetime for sure. But where people get it wrong is every single time we have a bull market, they think it's happening right now and it has to happen right now or else it's all over. And that's why we go way up. But as soon as it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen within a year, everyone panics and sells and we go way down. So the road's always a rocky one. The path is not straight. It's not up only. But it is up. And it's inevitable. And because TradFi don't realize this yet, they think we're taking enormous risk. But eventually, we'll be the ones who own all the assets in the most trendy and in-demand asset class in history.